Hello, What Spoilers fans. This week going to be a bit of a departure from our usual content. Over the last several episodes, we've been teasing you that we're starting a new project, and the time to unveil it is now. We're doing a first-time reader podcast of the Dungeon Crawler Carl book series, where I am the newbie and Seth is the veteran reader. If you haven't started the books yet, now would be a great time. Or you can just listen to me reacting to the first few chapters cold. That will probably be nearly as much fun. We hope that you enjoy this very un-Watt-like side quest while we get our momentum for the new year built up. And that you will join us over on the Podcast It Donut feed when that is available. That's right. You are experiencing the world premiere of our new podcast before literally anybody else is. You are listening to Podcast It Donut, a first-time reader podcast about the Dungeon Crawler Carl book series, hosted by Aradia and Seth. I am Aradia, the first-time reader who is crawling through the dungeon for the first time.
And I am Seth, the veteran reader who is guiding the show.
This podcast only contains spoilers up to where I have read in a given episode, which this week is chapters 3 through 6. New achievement! Masochist. You're back. After that first episode, I'm not here to judge your taste, but I'm going to anyway. Reward? I mean, if you keep listening, we're going to keep making this thing. Dead silence. This is good. So
That's
here
what
we
happens when
are.
we turn on recording is we stop talking every time. It's without fail. There's always that 30 seconds of wait, we had the conversation going. What did we do to it? Oh, we turned on recording. That killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is episode 2, recording 2 of our Dungeon Crawler Carl first time reader podcast that has not yet been named.
The podcast that shall not be named.
It hasn't been named. It's going to be named at some point.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Shouldn't be named?
It shall be named, but it has not yet been named.
Okay.
But I think it's going to have to be named because I am enjoying these books very much. I am incredibly furious at the fact that I had to stop because of making content. So that is definitely going to be the dynamic where yes, I want to make content, but also making content means that I have to only read a certain set amount. This is going to be frustrating for me. I now have a whole new level of appreciation for what Allie has gone through. Because we did do Hot Nuance where I did have to read a book without knowing what was going to happen. But this is worse. Mm-hmm. This book is snappier and more cliffhangery already. And I really want to just blast through it. And I'm mad at you.
I recommended the books. You're the one who was like, should we podcast through them? And I was like, sure. Yeah. You did this to yourself. You could have read them. But no, you wanted to make a project out of it. So suck it. So today we read 4 chapters, right? So we're going through it at a good pace. We're going to take this in chunks. We're not going to do a chapter at a time. We need larger chunks. Right now we're looking at we started with the 2 chapters just to introduce everything, and now we're doing a 4-chapter chunk. And I think I want to stick with about 4 chapters per episode. That gives us 12-ish episodes per book.
That sounds good.
And that feels like a reasonable pace. We can get through what's out so far in about 2 years. That feels like a reasonably compressed time for a podcast.
Yeah.
There's one more book coming out, I think, within that time frame. So, yeah, it would be, I think that is about what we're looking at.
Yeah. And I am learning how to do a first-time reader podcast.
As am I.
It's definitely a different experience of trying to process the book ahead of time. I kind of want to take notes. I meant to take notes for today's reading, but I just kind of forgot to do that. But I am intending on trying to keep a notebook and take some notes as I go through this. Because I enjoyed this section so much. I enjoyed getting backstory. I enjoyed getting more game mechanics, as I was telling you earlier. It's annoying like a tutorial level is annoying, which is acceptable because it is a tutorial level. And I'm not mad about the weird tutorial level bullshit because every game has that. Every book has an exposition phase. It's perfectly fine, and I'm having a lot of fun with the characters as we're getting into it.
It's successfully pulled off this is a video game to you because it annoys you in the same way a video game annoys you.
Yeah, and I didn't know this was a genre to not engage with or not before this. Like, I just really didn't know about lit RPG at all as a genre. So it's not like I have pre-assumptions about it or have read other books that sucked in this genre. Like, this is all very, very new to me, which is appropriate because I've really only ever played like actual handful of video games. I've never been much of a video gamer. I've gotten into a couple over my life, but it's a very small piece of my life. So it's very appropriate that I have no experience with this genre as I'm leaping in and being like, okay, I understand the concept of a tutorial level, but like, I've never seen it done badly. This seems to be done quite well. This is my first time in this kind of thing.
The other book series I've seen recommended next to this one is He Who Fights with Monsters, both before, and I've tried it both before and after I read Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I hated it both times. So that's my only other experience with this genre. It reminds me a lot of Piers Anthony's writing. Okay,
which is an author I'm aware of but have not read.
Mm-hmm. And just and I won't go into why, but there's it's just it didn't grab me either time. So I know there's other examples out there, and I need to do my research because this is an intro into that genre. But I think he's doing something with this that is unique, and he's building something that is better than a lot of other very formulaic lit RPGs.
I'm into it. I'm into having my good luck streak of constantly running into stuff at a very peak level of its quality just continue through my life. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Mm-hmm. That's great. So yeah, remind me of the actual order of events so I can tell you all about how I felt about it.
Okay, so we are in with Mordecai. He gets a little information about Mordecai, level 50 rat, right? And he's like, ooh, he's super powerful.
Level 50. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Which in some of the later books, you kind of go, okay, yeah, all right.
Well, I mean, that's what it made me wonder was like, how high did the levels go? Is level 50 not that big of a deal, or is it a big deal? Like, I know it's bigger than Carl, but like, where does that act? Like, I don't know how big this curve is. Okay. I have no idea where 50 sits. Like, on a scale of 0 to max, where is 50? I have no idea.
That's interesting. Okay.
It might go to level 500 for all I know. Or it might go to level 100, or it might go to level 51 or 49. Like, I have no idea what kind of scale we're working on. All I know is that that's a lot more than Carl.
I think you can say it at least level 50.
At least level 50. Clearly, it's like he's not God. And and we go through the chapter, the way he's talking, like, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, yeah, clearly there's people higher than him, but what does that mean in game mechanics? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. And so then he basically walks in and says, hey, is this door the only way in and out? And are those guys going to keep hanging out there?
Yeah, Carl is really quick on the strategics of this game. He is not... Because like I'm the kind of person when I play a video game that I will just sort of stand there examining the room until the city guard shows up and takes me off to prison because I didn't know I was supposed to run away. Like, that is how I go through video games. So I'm impressed that Carl is immediately like, where are those guys going? What is going to happen? I need to, and he goes out and kills them. I would never be that smart. I would definitely be among the first 3 million people that died in this situation. If I got into the gate, I would not last past the first 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I know myself. I die from something stupid pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's got some military training as well, right? So that's the sort of thinking.
Oh, right. That's true. He's not just an every guy. He's a guy that does have some amount of skills from a chosen life path.
What did you think about some of the gore now that we're, running over corpses and getting splattered and that level of death?
I like that it is so brutally honest about video game violence. I like that video game violence is both real and serious. That actually feels... Because video games are just so senselessly violent. There's huge piles of guts because that's, the pixel size on your screen to render and stuff. And to have it be real and disgusting to the character, right? He's like talking like, I can feel like raw meat between my toes or whatever. And like, that's so nasty.
What do you think about the diehardness of it, right? He's going around without shoes and cutting his feet up on ladders.
Right.
And like,
yeah. Oh my God. And like, doesn't notice the pain, but then, and the description of the healing potion working, it just all feels so viscerally accurate to the experience of playing a video game. And again, I don't know if that's standard fare for this genre, but I'm enjoying it. There's something about it that feels... Respectful is the wrong word, but it feels more respectful than so many video games where you're just dripping intestines everywhere constantly, and it's like never like in the head of the character. I don't know. It's really, really graphic, but video games are by definition graphic because they are like a graphic experience, you know? So I don't know.
The graphic can be used two ways there for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Good fun.
I'm enjoying it while also watching through my fingers, right? It's definitely a watching through my fingers kind of experience.
There's a moment where the goblin tells him he's not speaking his own language. He's speaking Syndicate.
That reminded me of that scene in whichever one of the doctors it was that picked up Rose the first time in Doctor Who. And she was like, wait, your machine's in my head? I didn't give you permission for that. Like, because at least in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, he knows he's getting a fish stuffed in his ear.
I think so, yeah. He gets
right?
the babblefish inserted, yeah.
He's aware of the fact that a fish is going into his ear. He didn't exactly consent to it, but at least it doesn't happen before he knows, you know, like, but just that weird violation of like, you can't even speak English anymore. Like, you're speaking our language. We've just like set what your language is going to be is just, I mean, obviously these people don't care about consent, but it just really drives home like the creep factor. If they have the ultimate God powers, though apparently not perfect surveillance, which is interesting.
That takes attention. They have omnipotence, but not omnipresence.
Yeah, they don't have infinite processing power for all the eyeballs that they can technically build and install. Even the AI and a team of game coordinators or whatever is actually not keeping up with the sheer volume of data. Fascinating little loophole.
I would suggest that the AI is perfectly capable of it. It's the syndicate that is not. The people who are not. The government who is not.
So the AI is interesting. What choices does the AI get to make that are not syndicate approved?
Because the AI is everywhere. The AI is controlling like the environment. It's giving out notifications. It's giving out the loot boxes. Like all of those.
Is it sentient? Is the AI sentient?
Raffo.
Oh,
My first Raffo.
It sure seems like I know it could just be a series of cascading things to make all of the notifications, but it just all feels very targeted at this guy's personality. Maybe it's just a weakness of the author that everything's snarky, but it feels so personalized that I wonder if the AI is smart.
The AI is certainly capable of personalizing those things, whether it's sentient or not, right? It's capable of personalizing the achievements to the person.
Yeah. It doesn't mean it's sentient.
Right.
But it's a very complex system, so I wonder if it has to have sentience as an emergent property just to keep up, you know? It's a question that I have.
Good. How do I answer these? I'm like, yes, you have questions. I like that you have questions. That's good.
Is there an answer to this by the point that you're at in the books, or is it still like the cat?
I am aware of the answer. Yes.
Okay. So you really are Rafoing me like for realties as a spoiler person, not just because the books aren't finished.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna figure this out. I understand. Allie is like, I'm gonna quest for the answer before the books give it to me.
See, now you can go back and like study the old chapters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So he goes out, he fights the goblins, he throws the one onto the roller, he jumps on top of the other one and squishes him, and he literally squishes him like a jelly donut, right? Like he's like
so gross.
You get a description of Carl, right? He's this very large, athletic person who's maybe not in the best shape of his life, but still in pretty good shape, right? He works out and all that kind of stuff. So he gets these stats of like strength of 6, which is above most people, and he's got a few other skills.
Right. Yeah. It was interesting seeing the stats. He's like, yeah, he's big and strong and not too dumb. I liked the little discussion he had with Mordecai where the difference between wisdom and intelligence. Mm-hmm. It's a thing that I think a lot of players of any kind of game with those sorts of stats, you don't necessarily understand the difference. And it was just nice that the book was like, specifically, we are going to articulate this difference just to try to get everyone to understand what we mean in this book by these words. Whatever your confusion is, this is what we mean.
The wisdom changing personality is one of those things I've seen a lot of speculation about, where people are trying to figure out what does that do if your wisdom were to change? How would that affect your personality? That's a stat that you could adjust, because they said like we don't do that anymore because that affects your personality. And so I'm like, what do you think? What effect do you think that would have on a crawler if their wisdom was adjusted?
I think it probably would affect the problem solving process, like the entire way that you approach a puzzle or a situation. Like this, the decision tree would get reworked from like the ground up. And like the emergent ripple effects would just be a completely different decision for how you approach a problem, how you make a choice. I think that's what wisdom would do, is it would just change your entire decision tree, everything that you weight in that.
And how does that affect your personality? Is it just because like your interactions with other people have decision trees, right? And so you're making different decisions when you're interacting with people? Or
I mean, I think you'd have different priorities. It's not just like an intellectual exercise. I think you would like prioritize different things, you know, like maybe you'd, instead of being like, I'll just hit stuff, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to min-max my way through, right? Like that would completely change all of your decisions, not just intellectually, but like, yeah, strategically. Where do you go? How do you prioritize your loot? How do you choose to interact with characters or not? Like, or other crawlers, right? Like your desire to be a soloist or in a team might change based on like how much you want to strategize with taking advantage of other people. Like maybe you lose empathy because you're like, oh, empathy is a drag, right? Caring about other people is not strategically viable. Maybe wisdom takes you into being like, well, if this point is to win, then strategy over empathy, you know, that would change your personality if you didn't care about people. Or maybe that would be more of an intelligence thing. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not good at knowing the difference between these two things. And that's why I appreciated the book trying to give us a definition.
an example of intelligence is knowing it's the police officer's car. Wisdom is telling you not to piss on the wheel.
Yeah. And I think maybe if you change your wisdom to be even higher, like, you know, wisdom is pinning it on someone. Like higher wisdom would be like, oh, let's pin it on a homeless guy because then we both get out of trouble or something. But I do think it's interesting that only some stats can be changed and other stats have to be kept the same. Like there are rules that exceed even the syndicate. Like there is something about the free will sentient being that is bigger than the game on some level.
So the dozer, jumping back a little bit in time, the dozer explodes. He's in the safe room at that moment. And so you sort of get this idea of like, oh, the safe room can save you from like things that are happening directly outside if you get inside.
But he bends the infrastructure of the game almost to the breaking point. Mordecai's like, the fuck? I'm not supposed to feel any explosions in here. Like, so Carl is already breaking the game.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. And that was a directed explosion, which I think is important, right? That's one of the reasons why it was so powerful, directed explosions. And that establishes in this game that directed explosions are actually more powerful than general explosions.
Which makes sense because it's the same amount of explosion in a smaller area. Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting that he is already surprising the game master, breaking the rules, doing unexpected things, like getting a legendary box for reasons that I don't think were adequately explained. You know, like there's a lot where it's like, okay, this is a unique character because a lot of things are breaking his way in ways that are kind of Taviran-like, you know, to use a Wheel of Time reference. He's definitely got plot armor as one of his entry-level achievements.
And there's some speculation for sure, like exactly what is the source of that plot armor? Is it just plot armor? Is it?
I guess we're going to have to Rafo, aren't we, since the series isn't done yet.
I'd like you to maybe keep an eye on that and see what you think. If you have any theories.
Okay.
Because I have theories. We get a little bit of history about Mordecai.
Got a bit of history about Mordecai. Like, I mean, he's got his mother's ashes, which the cat knocks over, which is freaking hilarious. Like, cats. Why are cats? I love cats. But like the whole thing where he's like kind of a hostage, but also he was like kind of a badass delver because he did get to level 11 and no one gets past 13. And like, but he's also on a contract, but he's also, and the concept of like the shape shifting every time, like he's in it feels like one of those things where like, yes, you work for the mob, but it's because your alternative was to sleep with the fishes. But like they will take care of your mama at the same time and like make sure that like the school that your kid goes to like has textbooks. It's I don't know, it feels really weird. Like the protection racket energy coming off of his backstory is fucked up. And also just like the haunting way that he did not answer questions about what happened to his home world or why he can't go back. It's just like, I don't even need you to tell me to Rafo. right there. That was a Ravo just in the text. There is some traumatic bullshit we are going to reveal in however many books. I'm assuming that's nowhere near this book. I'm assuming that is later, because that felt like a huge looming shadow that he just skipped on past.
I will say this. It doesn't have, you don't get the backstory all at once.
Yeah. This does not feel like a quick backstory. This feels like a slow burn backstory, for sure. And like, no one ever gets past level 13. What?
Yeah.
But there's 18 levels.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you
mean?
What are those last? No one even knows what those last 5 levels even look like.
You mean telling me that they build these 5 levels every time and no one gets there? That is this game makes no sense as a financial venture.
Yeah. I could tell you a little bit about why they. I think we know a little bit about why they exist, but we'll find out when we get there.
Okay.
Because I don't think he necessarily knew when he was writing this book.
Sure. We've got some Eye of the World isms, kind of, because this is the beginning.
And there certainly are a few Eye of the World isms in here, like things where Mordecai says this is going to be on that level, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
Sure.
So there's just, but it's also the point where like the game changes every time. So he can never be entirely sure about what's coming. So Mordecai's information, while accurate, is not necessarily up to date.
It's so interesting how they co-opt at least some crawlers to become part of the game. Like, that is a fascinating and twisted way to make the game. Like, there's something really fucked up about that. First, you get sucked in against your will, and then you become someone who is actually making the machine run to grind up more people. Like, it's like the game is still going on them. Like, you're still playing the game by surviving as a gatekeeper of the game, you know? Like, this is twisted. The people paying for this, the people watching this, are twisted, sick fucks. Like, this is the Hunger and also like all this whole thing about sponsorships and viewerships is like the Hunger Games definitely has some DNA threaded in here for sure. That part, the weird like forced prostitution of your entire survival arc is so gross. Good commentary on capitalism and the internet and the attention economy and chasing the algorithm, but so gross.
Yeah, and the corporation running this one is the Borant Corporation. Yeah, no, I mean, you just think about the numbers, right? First of all, like the number of people who died when the Earth collapsed, and then already we've lost 3 million out of the
3 million
out of the 13 million. You know, that's nearly what 25% basically of the remaining the people who entered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolute bloodbath here at the start, and still 10 million people is a lot. That's a lot of people that are going to die over just the next few levels, just because that's how this sort of thing works. It's a pyramid shape, you know?
But then you look at the number of people, quintillions of citizens of the syndicate, right? This is a multi-planet, you know, they have one of these, they sacrifice a planet for a TV show every 2.5 years.
I mean, they've got to be spread out across at least a quarter of the entire Milky Way in order to have that kind of reach. That's ridiculous. There's so much aliens. Also, the whole thing about like seeding planets with like different races and like humans are some of the weak ones is just like, oh, panspermia just got a dark twist. That's the darkest twist on panspermia I have ever heard.
And there'll be more details on that for sure.
I should freaking hope so. You can't just have that be the entire world building. I know spare world building is an effective tool of sci-fi, but I'm going to need more reveals about why humans are one of 6 seed races for this game. What?
And so we get access to the crawler menu. What do you think about the inventory?
Well, first of all, Baldur's Gate 3 has a horrible inventory interface, and I hate it. So inventory menus are a thing I think need to be really good. I think inventories need to be well constructed, and it's very hard to comprehend a video game layout inventory in a linear form like an audiobook. It's a very difficult medium to translate a layout through, but I did enjoy it. in terms of the structure, and then the way that we skip, it starts to get a little tedious and ridiculous, and then we just start closing stuff out.
So in this one, let me read it. Last season, it was a slot-based system. It allowed you to carry multiple items, but it was limited in capacity and had a weight limit. This season, each crawler is given dimensional inventory and AI cataloging system. What does that mean? It's a good thing. Basically, unlimited storage. And if you can physically lift it off the ground by yourself for about 4 seconds, you can put it in your space no matter how big it is. The only rule is you can't store living creatures. They will immediately die. Also, the storage is time locked, so food doesn't go bad. That's a big one. We had the last season with crawlers starving to death. So I think that's a powerful tool.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside. It's time locked.
And it can hold things of up to infinite weight. Also, the whole thing about hot barring your potions and stuff and being able to store them up to like 99,000 or whatever. Like it's a good game layout. It's a good design. I like it. It's so unrealistic. I love it.
I think that's part of the appeal is like, this actually sounds like a fun game to play if you were to actually play it, right? Like unlimited inventory, not having to worry about inventory management because there's an AI who's going to sort it for you and bring up the things you want really quickly, right? Like it sounds great. And like it takes a lot of the anxiety out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. A well set up inventory and hotbar is so important for smooth game interfacing. And also I love the little comment like, oh yeah, you'll want to use the hotkey to consume potions because some of them taste bad. You don't want to like actually drink them. You want to just use the little game mechanic to like apply them without drinking them. Like these funny little things of applying video game rules to real life and real life to video games. And just like the funny incongruities there. I like that detail.
And so I thought this was funny when Mordecai goes, oh, you got a legendary pet box. Why didn't you say so? And Carl's been asking repeatedly if he can open his boxes yet after every lesson.
Right.
And Mordecai's been saying, no, not yet, kid. We'll talk about the boxes later. And then he's like, legendary box. Why didn't you say so? And Carl's like, Thought that was a good moment.
So funny.
Yeah.
It was a very good dynamic. And then we finally get to the boxes. I was also very anxious to know what kind of loot he would get, what kind of weird stuff was going to be in there.
Okay. What did you think about the announcements in the boxes, right? Because there was like, first of all the achievements, and then he gets all the boxes, and then he has to open all the boxes. And so that's where I think there's a lot of that game mechanic in there.
That's where it's annoying in a tutorial level kind of way. And I'm like, well, this is good. I'm getting a feel for the stuff that we're clicking past. And a lot of the things were really dumb and in a way that felt very appropriate. Like, but you get a few healing potions and you get like a rubber chicken and a toe ring. Yeah. And then this was one of the notes I sent you was the podophilia comment. Was like, hey, that's my kink.
Uh-huh.
And because you had mentioned before that he has the prettiest feet and that's relevant. And that was just a weird throwaway line you gave me before I ever started reading it. Here's the first foot fetish joke.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And now we've got a toe ring. So I guess that's two weird things about feet. I also love that the toe ring has to be uncomfortable. Like it will resize itself to fit, but it also will be uncomfortable. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Part where he's now branded as like friendly with goblins, but he'll get attacked by creatures that don't like goblins. Like the way he's just accumulating not just loot, but like game settings, like certain story paths are being cut off or opened, and like narrowing his options and really like forcing him into something that's closer and closer to an archetypal character and less of just a blank template of a man.
Mm-hmm. And the way just like surviving has forced him into those sort of choices. Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, I like a game that will give you accomplishments just for doing stuff that kind of helps set the role play and set the direction you're going in. I think it's a handy way to reduce the options paralysis.
Two things he does put on are the Night Gaunt Cloak of Stoutness and the Enchanted Trollskin Shirt of Pummeling, both of which are actually pretty valuable items.
And to make him, between that and the toe ring, make him stronger than almost any human who's ever lived, according to Mordecai.
Basically,
like right out of the gate, he is now getting close to Superman in terms of his walking around presence. He can't fly, but he is literally like one of the strongest punchers that the human species has ever produced now because of power-ups, just like right out of the gate. He is level 2.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, the shirt like multiplies his strength by 5, right? Just like whatever his strength is, you take even like the weakest person, if you multiply their strength by 5, that's a very strong person.
Right. And apparently it might make female trolls amorous towards him, so I'm curious if that's going to become a problem at some point.
Raffo. The thing is, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is so much fun as a new reader. I get to fuck with you a little bit. And of course, then the legendary box is the enchanted pet biscuits.
Yes, which I was like, as soon as I saw it was a magic pet biscuit and it was legendary and stuff, I was like, okay, this is how we make Donut into being someone who can communicate more clearly with Carl. I don't know how, but I know that the cat is a presence at least up until book 7. The cat is a very important part of it. People make jokes about Donut. Like, I know that Donut is important. So she's either got to get a voice, become telepathic, get opposable thumbs, like get like a speech bubble, like heads up attached, like something involving her ability to interact with Carl was going to get an upgrade. So I wasn't worried when she turned into a pile of goo. I was like, whatever, it's fine. Like, we're going to get a communication power up, but how is the communication power up going to come through? I was like, this is absurd. This book is absurd. I have no idea how. It's going to be weird. There's going to be a twist. And I was so excited. I was so freaking excited to have Donut have more personality. And I was not disappointed. I had to go back and re-listen to the end of the chapter just because the voice in the audiobook is so amazing. Oh my God, I am so here for Donut. I am so here for Donut having this voice.
So there's a couple of moments I want to talk about. One, the fact that he was thinking about selling it and not giving it to her. And
okay, first of all, fuck him for that.
Okay. I was curious what your reaction to that was.
Fuck him for that. Negative 50 points. Negative 50 points. I don't like Carl for the fact that like, no, all the good plot is lying in that little kibble. If you try to sell that, like, first of all, you're a shithead for wanting to sell it, but also this book will not be nearly as much fun if you sell it. So like, I was like just waiting for Donut to come up and grab it. I'm like, surely it's attractive enough to her because it's meant to be like, the snacks are supposed to be appealing. I'm like, surely she's just going to come take it. She has no respect and it's supposed to be appealing.
Right.
And we need it for plot. Like, shut up, Carl. You're a shithead.
Yeah. And then her just leaping up and snagging it out of his hand. Like, so such a cat thing to do, right? Like,
and then she turns into goo and he immediately feels bad and like, oh no. And I'm just like, good. That's right. You feel like shit. You feel bad for 5 minutes.
I don't think he ever would have sold it. I'll be honest. Like, he was just, it's that like weighing your options of like, also he wants pants. He wants to be able to buy some pants.
No, he needs to shirt cock it through the dungeon. I think that's perfect. He has boxers. It's fine.
They're basically shorts.
Exactly. But I liked that Donut's lack of boundaries included taking the agency for her. Because, I mean, also, she's a crawler, right? She's not, like, she is a pet, but she's a crawler. She's been assigned a crawler number. She got the pet box, but like, she's a smart kitty. She knows that that's for her and that she needs it in order to survive. She's going to win this thing. The cat is going to win Earth back and then push it off the table just for shits and giggles also. But like, the cat is going to win the game. That's my prediction now for book 10 is the cat wins.
Well, I'll raffle that for everybody because we do not know. Trollskin shirt is +7 to regeneration, which is huge, right? Like, if he gets wounded, like,
oh yeah, insta heal, yeah.
And then the cloak is +4 to Constitution, and he's resistant to poison, so poison doesn't really hurt him.
Yeah, and also cold damage, like.
There's a lot of benefits between those two items, and I think he just continues to wear those items basically forever.
Well, that's what you do in a video game when you get a cool legendary item at the beginning. That's like your character's personality is having those few items and then whatever else you get later on. That's how it works.
He gets Powerful Strike again, so that multiplies his damage when he's not wielding a weapon. So yeah, just all of these advantages to basically being punch hard things. Just because like he didn't have a weapon when he came in, and sort of like you develop whatever weapon you have. Right. And so you see that there's other characters who have, sometimes some of them bring weapons, right? And they get good at that kind of weapon.
The whole thing about getting to level up and choose your class and change your race and like all of that, where like you have your starting conditions, but then you can tweak it. Like, I love that mechanic in video games. And I think it's, aside from all the death and mayhem, I think it's a really cool mechanic to apply in this game book story thing. It's really cool to be like, yeah, no, you can just specialize in magic. You can choose to become good at a thing that you're not good at simply by accruing experience in the game and leveling up. Like, I think that's a pretty neat thing to play with in this universe.
And then, yeah, I think the last thing there is Donut popping up, which is,
Oh my gosh.
immediately criticizing his cloak. And I can't fathom
I can't understand why Mistress Beatrice hired you. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so here for Donut just being a snooty little princess, but like with the scathing commentary. And so I'm assuming that they're going to have a very like biting buddy cop, like snark fest as we go through this. This feels like it's going to be a very snarky relationship.
Raffo.
You can't lie to me. I know. This is going to be a snark fest.
There's certainly a fair amount of that, right? Because he's used to like razzing his buddies, and she's a princess cat who has a lot of like, opinions, right? So
This is going to be fun.
and she remembers everything.
This is going to be so much fun. I'm so glad that she has a voice.
She saw things as a cat.
Oh, of course she did. Because cats have no respect for anyone's boundaries or personal space. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so excited to go read more.
All right. And so, I think that brings us to the end of the 4 chapters that we wanted to talk about today.
Oh, my God. That's great. This is fun. I'm having a great time.
Good. I'm enjoying watching you read this and teasing you a little bit with some of the stuff that I know. But also there's a lot of things I don't know because, the story's not finished. So I cannot I'm enjoying the fact that some things I'll be able to spoil, some things I won't, and I'll be able to tell you, "Oh, I don't know that, but I will know it. I will know it."
Yeah. Figuring out how to navigate the new books when they come out will be an interesting.
Maybe I read them first and then we read through chapter by chapter with you on them or something like that.
Or do we read them together? We will find out.
Right.
We'll find out.
And we all find out together.
First, we have to name this podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we do have to name it. I'd say send in names, but if you're listening to this, we probably already picked one.
yeah.
And you know more than we do. So I guess for us, it's WAFO, wait and find out. For you already know.
PAFO, podcast and find out.
Podcast and find out.
All right. With that, I think we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Podcast at Donut. Support us on Patreon for ad-free episodes at patreon.com/podcastatdonut. This podcast is a production of Fox and Draven Media. For more podcasts from Fox and Draven Media, visit our website, foxandravenmedia.com.